Right, okay, everyone. So I'm starting off this show. We've got a few technical problems because putting up that link to enable you to join the show prior to me actually having started it meant I couldn't start it. So I've had to create a new event, which I've now done. So we're actually up and running and live. So I'm not going to talk about Link4Growth. Hang on a minute. Putting up that link to enable you to join the show prior to me actually having started it meant I couldn't start it. So I've had to create a new event, which so that was another technical hitch. I had the actual thing playing in the background over there, so I've just canned that as well. So I've got all my kit around me. So if anybody's posting any questions or anybody wants to join me, then please do so. There's a lot going on now with Link4Growth. So there's an awful lot of stuff that we do, and so I would be surprised if everyone knows exactly what they're doing and there's no questions, but I'm not going to just ramble on. I'm here today, and I'll be doing this every couple of weeks probably, or at least once a month, so that anybody out there that wants to just ask me questions and get answers, they can do that. So I'm going to just watch the different posts that we've got out there. Now Jane has asked me right, okay, the reason, Jane, for that problem is that what happened was that you started the Hangout effectively, and of course once it's been started, I think from my perspective I was actually locked out. So anyway, because it said I'm now joining a Hangout, which I thought was a bit strange because I should have been starting it. So it looked like you had actually got in there first, as it were. But anyway, doesn't matter because we've got this up and running now. Hi Jane, you've joined me.
Yeah,
so
yeah, sorry, I think I clicked it too soon.
Yeah, don't worry.
I'm too keen.
I think that's what happened, to be honest. Because Jerry clicked on the link as well, so I think there was a couple of people, and she was, oh, I think I'm on it. I think I'm on it. So have you got a question apart from that one that you put up about the forum?
I've got a question about the offline training.
Okay.
About when that might be starting to happen.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm writing the, if you like, the new flyers at the moment, which are there's going to be two flyers, two leaflets. One is going to have about community building and the events and the forum, and then the other is going to be Link4Skills and Link4Business. We've also then got the additional problem that we've got the TV one to accommodate somewhere, but I just don't think we can cram that all onto 4 sides of an A5 page. So, but in the process of writing these leaflets, what I'm doing is I'm summarising what's happening with Link4Skills. So the bottom line is that it'll all be kicking off pretty quickly. That's the so essentially we're going to be having the same kind of structure as we've got with Link4Business, in that each district has somebody that's responsible for either business or education. It doesn't have to be the district leader, but clearly these people will be working very closely together. So and once we've got that person in place who's going to if you like, going to be responsible for the education, they will in effect then be everything's beeping here. Then essentially they will be responsible for delivery of the local, the offline training. So it's their job really to make sure that the people doing it are up to scratch. They're the right kind of people. They've got the right kind of, if you like, local kudos for doing what they're trying to be trained in, what they're trying to train in. So if they're an accountant or they're I don't know if they're doing business plans. They've got to be known for doing that locally and have a certain level of respect. Otherwise, we will end up with the wrong kind of training, with people not getting out of it what they really wanted, and it won't be what we want to try and do is create a high quality platform. So it's quite important that we do select those people quite carefully. So does that answer your question? That it's imminent?
Yeah, I think so. Thanks. Yeah.
Now, in terms of the forum, we should be getting Tapper Talk linked up by the end of today. That's being processed at the moment. I've fixed the banners at the top. So at the moment we've got 2 orange banners there, one for registration and one for if they're registered already but they've not subscribed, and at the moment they're both orange, and I think that's a bit confusing because you might just think the same banners there that you've just clicked on. So we're going to change the one about subscribing to the L4G blue colour, so that'll be different. And the red one, I've fixed it now so that if you've posted 0 to 5 posts, you're going to get that red image, but we're going to make it the same as the others so it doesn't shove everything down the screen. And that's been the actual button doesn't appear now when I log in, and I'm sure it wouldn't appear when you log in now, but
the one that says take a quick tour.
Yeah, that's right, but we've got to do a new video obviously to
Yeah,
go
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
but it won't appear now for you or me or anybody that's posted more than 5 times. So the problem's kind of semi-gone away for us to click on that thing, but obviously if someone's new to the forum, we do need to give them a quick whistle-stop tour. But I don't want to do that video until we've got everything kind of right, otherwise we're going to have to redo it again because it'll have changed. So, the forum's getting there. It's just at the moment it's just like identifying what needs fixing and sorting it out as and when we can. I also noticed that although we can have different ways of paying on the forum, at the moment we cannot do recurring payments with any other payment gateway apart from PayPal. So if somebody does, so the only thing that we're going to be able to use the other payment gateways for is annual payments. So basically that's the things about the forum so far. Do you have any other questions? I'm just looking now to see if I've got anything else that's cropped up actually.
Anyone asked about Link for Business?
Did you watch the news show at the weekend?
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I did see that.
I did mention it on there. Link for Business. We were talking with Asif yesterday, and the website is almost ready to go live. There were just a couple of amendments that needed to be done to that, so that's going to be live. I think it's going to be live within the next day or so. We've got for the first 100 people that join Link for Business, there's going to be some merchandise. You caught sight of some of the merchandise on that table yesterday. So we're going to be getting a few little gifts for people who join up with Link for Business, the first 100 that do so, just to give it a bit of momentum and to welcome those first 100 in. And that's the first event. I think it's been set for something like the 19th of August, and that's going to be in Oundle. So the first event's planned. Obviously now we're going to promote that. I've got to write the documentation, which what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a video a bit like this about Link for Business. What's its purpose? What's it there for? And then what's going to happen is we're going to transcribe that, and Asif is going to take that video and he's going to rework it. He's going to do a video as the lead on Link for Business about the purpose of what Link for Business is all about. And it's an interesting thing, Link for Business, because what we're not trying to do is recreate like a business networking thing like all the others are. What we're doing with Link for Business is we're recognising that business represents 30% of what goes on in the community, but it's an incredibly important 30% because it's the engine room of community. And of course, if local business is successful, communities are successful as well. So Link for Business is very much an integral part of what Link4Growth is all about, in that if we can get local businesses to start working together as a team, really just all helping each other, and that's part of coming into Link for Business, we can help raise their profile. We can help our businesses work with each other. They can collaborate. They can buy from each other, and they can create this real movement, which is about getting the local businesses to really gel up together. And what will happen is that through the integration with Link4Growth, they will be exposed to all the other charities and social organisations that need support and help, and they'll be in a great position then through the connection through Link4Growth to basically select ones that they want to really help with. And I don't know whether you caught a blog post I wrote the other day for Link4Growth about the real corporate social responsibility agenda, which has really got to be aimed at small businesses, not large businesses, because large businesses on the whole, they want to tick in the box to say, oh, we've got a corporate social responsibility agenda, but it's just something for the annual report. They don't really do that much, really. It's a bit of a lip service type thing, just to get the tick in the box, in the right boxes. But actually the people that can do the most good are the local businesses in the local community, because they can get in touch with the things that really need to be done, and it's at a local level. You can't do it any other way, and because they're involved in community, and then we as Link4Growth can get them even more involved in community, it's a perfect partnership, because what Link4Growth is able to do is bring community and business together like no other organisation, and that's really what Link for Business is all about. And the third thing is obviously if we're building relationships with community and we're getting people to come together, of course we naturally, by the very fact that we're doing that, are able to expose people to local businesses and help those people to start buying from local people. And if we can get 10%, just 10% growth in the local business and the local economy, it make a massive difference to community, and that's really what it's all about. So it's not to be confused with other business organisations. So oh, that's Nish telling me that Capital's now installed, so we're updating and doing things as we speak. So does that answer the question about Link for Business? Obviously we'll be documenting this and making sure that you know, the things that I've just said there are put in a very concise way, and people can see where it fits in the overall scheme of what Link4Growth is trying to do.
Yeah, that's fine for now. I guess we'll see what happens, and then whether we can replicate it in other areas.
Well, the absolute idea is it is replicatable. That's what it's been designed to be done. But it all comes back to being part of the, you know, we talked about the Community Kickstarter initiative, and I mentioned it on the show on Saturday, and it all fits in with all of this. It's all part of the big plan, is that we have to involve all aspects of community, you know, there's nothing wrong with businesses like going out there providing great service and making money. There's no issue with that whatsoever. But it's got to be done with a purpose, and that purpose has got to be to put back into the local community. You know, it's the local community that helps facilitate businesses being successful, and we should really get that much more in line and balanced than it is right now. So yeah, but all the leaflets will be coming out. We'll have to be reprinting them during August, so that you know, come September, we've got a whole stack of new stuff, and we can really start making inroads in the final 4 months towards Christmas. So that's where we're at. I don't know whether there's any other questions here.
What about sharing artwork? You know, like if you've got a new group starting, I know there is the Canva account, but not everybody uses Canva. Are there any plans to sort of have a central place for the artwork?
Yeah, well, we will be using Google Drive. Google Drive for. Now, this is another thing for core, centrally managed files like the banners, the leaflets, and stuff like that. We need to be putting those into a central Link4Growth place. When it comes down to local level stuff, then as part of the district websites and the district pages, you can obviously have a G Drive account. So if you're producing local images with local buildings, local pictures and stuff like that, then that's where that gets stored. So you'll be able to set that up for, like have the different towns and the different communities that you've got, and actually have the artwork and the appropriate things in the right place for those. But that'll all be done through Google Drive via the district page, the Link4Growth North East London page, because that will own the drive. I just want to say though that Cal mentioned this, that none of the stuff that we're doing with the offline workshops is taking away from what we're doing on the online side. And of course the plans are to build the online training as well. I've got a couple of workshops that I want to deliver through the online platform, because I think that many people from around the country might want to join in on those trainings, and I don't want to run them all over the place. I'd rather run them centrally and let people consume those from a central place. So all of the stuff that we're doing, online is continuing, and both Carol and Jenny are doing loads of work in the background. They're revamping, excuse me, they're revamping the website right now, and they're marshalling all the resources that are online, and that's hugely important, because that allows us to access people and get who are not part of Link4Growth yet, because they'll find those online resources, and that will help bring people into Link4Growth as well. So we need to be operating all of these things. We can't the offline is because we do realise that there are people out there that want to go along to a physical event. They want the, if you like, the camaraderie of being around other people, networking as well at the event, and that's really important. And what Link4Growth shouldn't be doing, nor Link4Skills, is saying, well, this is what we're doing, and you've got to consume it this way or that. What we've got to do is say, what does the customer actually want, and we must provide training to suit all of their needs, whether it be actually something like a quite interactive session where it's just up to 8 people in a space which is closed off just for those 8 people, or whether it's an event where we've got a broadcast and it's open to everybody, whether they're recorded or not recorded. At the end of the day, we've got to offer a whole basket of different options, because everyone's different and they want to learn in different ways, and we've got to be a bit chameleon-like in doing that. So yeah, I hope that's answered that question. It was quite good, actually, quite good questions. Well done. But I know, Jane, that you are not alone out there in trying to understand what we're trying to do in terms of delivering the complexity of what Link4Growth is. And on the face value, Link4Growth is really, really simple. We get people together to talk to each other locally, because everything starts with a conversation. And by doing that, we open up lots of doors for all sorts of things. But clearly, when you've got the vision is to rebuild community, and that is diverse and that is complex. And consequently, as we expand, the complexity increases. Just by the very nature of the fact that more people with more needs and different needs are coming on board with what we're doing. So I don't know, I've had beeping and tweeting and loads of stuff going on here. I don't know whether we've got any more questions. Yeah, if anybody's watching and they've got Tapper Talk on, see if you can find the Link for Growth forum. I'm not going to do it while I'm online here, but if you are using Tapper Talk, just see if you can get on the forums. Nish has asked me to test it, so we might as well do a live test. Just going to see if there's any more notes or comments been made here. Just answer this question. Okay, so any more questions? Yeah, we covered quite a lot there, so thanks to Jane for those questions. There's a lot going on. Obviously, I covered some of this, not in perhaps so much detail on the national news show at the weekend, but there is an awful lot happening, and do get involved on the Facebook subscribers group. Do get involved if you're in Teams, in the Google Plus Teams community. If you're not that familiar with Google Plus, it will be very, very well worth going on the training that we've got next week, the basic training that is being run through Link for Skills. I think it's next Tuesday, and Carol herself is going to be running that one, a vast amount of knowledge that she's got on Google Plus. So do get on that, because a lot of what I was talking about with Jane there is how we're organised, and that organisation is all online through Google Plus. So it is worth having a good understanding at the basic level, and of course those are recorded as well, so if you join up for those, you can watch it a few times as you need to. So yeah, it's all happening basically at the moment. We did plan to try and get all of this stuff rolled out by the end of June, but there's just been so many things going on. We've had the new forums, we've had Link for Skills revamp in terms of the new website, we've had the introduction of the offline training, we've had the launch of Link for Business. There's so many, we've got to write new leaflets, there's so much going on behind the scenes, and huge credit to Deepa Kotek on the social media that's been going on. We've had a lot more presence there, and do actually, and this is a question that I'll raise for myself, if you like, but it is important that each of the district leaders out there do have a nominated individual to post the events up onto the Facebook pages, the district pages, because Deepa yesterday posted, I think, all of the events for the coming week up on all the different district pages, and it's a fair task. I think there are 8 events scheduled to be operating tomorrow alone, so it's quite a big task. And the whole idea of Link for Growth is to spread the load amongst a lot of people. I wrote a blog post some time ago about time tithing, and it's about all of us playing a small role rather than relying on a few people to do loads and loads of work. And if we all contributed, and I say this often at events, if 8 million of us contributed 4 hours a week each, we would end up with over 1.5 billion hours of, if you like, community effort in a year. And if that was all organised and going in a direction of improving communities, we could make one heck of a difference. And that's something else that we need to be doing, is for identifying people in the community that are good at certain things, but just basically bringing them into the team, and it can be the most small thing, but people are genuinely quite pleased to help. What they're frightened of, and it's absolutely understandable, is that out there at the moment, if you put your hand up to volunteer, you just get so much dumped on you, because people say, oh, it's so difficult to find volunteers. And it is, because they're frightened of what will happen if they say yes to something. And if they do say yes to something, then the whole, it's like it just gets one thing after another gets tipped on them. Well, actually, because of the diversity of what we're doing, they're, like, for example, let's find all the charities in a local district. It's not a particularly difficult thing to do, but it does require a little bit of detective work. But someone might be happy enough to just go away and find 2 or 3 new charities a week, which can be invited to come along to Link4Growth events. It's not a massive job, but it's an important job. And like posting these things onto Facebook, it's not a massive job, but it's an important job, and it needs doing. And there's so many things that a few dedicated souls are doing week in, week out, that it just requires a few people to just say, do you know what, I don't mind doing a little bit for you. Just, yeah, it doesn't take an hour a week, that's all, an hour or two. And if we all pulled together, then it would make it less painful for the people that are actually contributing the most. So do bear that in mind as well. Yeah, just reading some other bits and pieces here that have been sent. So just tapping away there. Let's see if there's anything else on any other platform. And if there's no more, if any more, no, it looks like, oh, there was a question from Jane saying about on the forum finding out how to upload profile pictures and avatars. I'm not quite sure what the problem is about that at the moment, but I suspect it might be to do with the privileges on the upload directory for images that have been uploaded. So they need to be set in a certain way. And if that is the issue, then I'll make sure that we get that sorted, and that we get that cleared up. So any snags that you see like that on the forum, channel them through the district leaders, and we'll get the changes made. So yeah, this is a collaborative effort. You know, as we use things, you know, things not quite working right, do go on the forums and post. There's loads of I don't know whether you've been keeping up to date with the blog that I'm writing on there, but if you do go on there, the one about the raw food, it would be you'll see that you can add pictures, you can add albums and stuff, so it's much more user friendly than it was before. It does take a little bit of practice, and you do need to have a little play around with it, but do get in there and have a go. There are groups in there, the blog, you can write a blog in there, but you can also join in with the normal regular forums as well. So please do that. Let's see what else has been happening. Okay, so Nish has basically said that he thinks that Tapatalk is now working. So for those of you out there that have got Tapatalk, you should be back in business. I must admit I've missed that. If you don't know what Tapatalk is, Tapatalk is an application that's available for both Android and iOS, and it basically allows you to access the forum on the move. So it will alert you if you get any messages, and if you subscribe to various forums, it will tell you about those. So actually quite useful, and makes the forum something that you can access while you're on the move rather than just a desktop. So do go and grab that, TAPATALK, Tapatalk, download it, and that means you can the form's more usable. So do that. Right, okay, so it doesn't look like there's any more questions, I don't think. I'll just check one more time on Facebook just to see if anybody's dropped anything on there, but I don't think anybody has. What I will say is, if you haven't read the 6-page PDF document that Nikki put together, and you're just, if you like, just joining Link4Growth, or you want reminding of some of the processes, you'll find those in the Teams community on Google+. It's separated into 3 sections. On the left-hand side, you've got all the different categories. And on the right-hand side, you've got a little bit about what the community is, which has also got some codes for getting your discount off your training. So they're normally £25. You get them for £20 if you're a subscriber, and the code there for people to be able to get that discount is actually there as well. And underneath that, you've got various links. So they're like the top 10 links. So you've got a link there to all the files, PDF files for the banners and stuff. But I think it's the last one, or the last one but one. You've got a PDF there which is about getting started in hosting an event and stuff like that, and what you need to do when the event's finished. There's also a couple of forms there. One's for new community team members. All right, we need to know who these team members are. So there's a form there for that, for you to fill in. And there's also another form there for starting new events. So if there's a new event coming up that you're launching, then there's a form there for you to fill in, which asks for all the details, so that when that's filled in, what happens is it gets sent out to all the appropriate people, so that they can get themselves into gear to set up the email address for the event, get Eventbrite set up for the event, get the new event registered on the website. Everybody gets notified who needs to know, and that's why we've centralized that in a central place, so it makes it easy, and we've got it fairly automated. So quite a few processes set up behind the scenes, and it's and as we grow, of course, we need to make sure these processes are strictly adhered to, because otherwise we're replicating things that are not right, and it just breaks down. So really important to make sure that we do adhere to the duplicatability of what we're doing. Okay, so I guess if no one else is going to join me, I will say adios. It's nearly 10 to 5 anyhow. If people comment on whether they find this useful on the underneath the video, then and tell me how regularly you think this ought to be run. And as the number of subscribers grows and the number of people involved and doing things grows, then people are going through different stages all the time. So we might need to run this every 2 weeks, every 4 weeks, maybe 4 weeks for now, 2 weeks later, who knows. But let me know your thoughts on that. And otherwise, I will see you out and about. Okay, so thanks for watching.